Hey gang, how you doing tonight? I just thought I would do this video because I've been waiting to do this one for a long time. This is a full travel kit, TSA approved, that got through security, both Canadian and American, twice, and has everything that we need if we were to get stranded in the airport or if the shit hits the fan when we are where we're at. So this includes a number of things, including my Scotty vest jacket, which is this. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's a jungle, but it is the sleeves zip off. And if you don't know Scotty vest, they've got lots of really cool stuff. Clothes, jackets, shirts, all that kind of stuff that has tons and tons of pockets. Anyway, so you'll see I've loaded this one out. So this might be a little bit of a lengthy video, but I think it'll be worth it because this is the video that was missing when I was trying to put together my gear for this trip. So we just got back from 2 weeks in California, and this is what I had. So starting on the table right now is the pocket EDC. Obviously I can't take any of my knives or anything like that. So I've got my Gerber tactical pen. I've got my Streamlight microstream. And then on this keychain that has our van keys, I've got the Leatherman PS2, the SOG Mac 5, an Olight E-Light, I believe they call it, EOS, 3 EOS, and my whistle and space pen. So that was all totally okay with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into my vest, into the jacket, and probably the easiest way to do this is just to do it on the actual table. So here we go. So that is my insulated water bottle. In the pocket that it sits in is a steel cup with a bandana in the bottom. In that pocket is another little flashlight. On the left side, aero chamber for my daughter's inhaler. Some pseudo cream, which does a number of things, not the least of which is cure rashes and things like that. Got some compressed towels. Tylenol for the kid. Inhaler for the kid. And another pseudo cream. Inside this side, there goes my pen. I've got what's left of a Millennium bar. I've got my Olight S2A baton. In this pocket are all of our passports. My fiance and I are American and Canadian, respectively. Our kids are dual, so we have 6 passports. Awesome. In this larger pocket, my notebook, and some Kit Kats. On the other side, in the other cell phone pocket, I've got another Millennium bar, my Write in the Rain notepad. I've got an Exotac fire sleeve with a Bic lighter in it. My little pocket survival kit, and in this is a whole slew of gear. Magnesium, compass, snare wire, flashlight, tin foil, fish hooks and line, stormproof matches and striker, water purification tabs, got 6 of them I think. Yep. And those are the Catadins, so they do everything, viruses, the whole bit. This is a 3-liter polyurethane bag with a zip seal. Emergency water bag. Signal mirror I wrap up in that to protect it. I've got a small fire steel. It'd be really tough to light a fire with that, but I also have some, in my other kit, some Vaseline and cotton balls. This is an SOL survival poncho with some Spectra twine daisy chained in there. That's about 50 feet's worth. And that stuff's got a 400-pound test, so really good, solid stuff. In the back pocket, I've got a 3-liter source water bladder, charging cable for my phone, the piping for the bladder, a Sawyer Mini unused, my shemagh, I think that's it. And that is it. That jacket is now empty. So, tons and tons of gear just in the jacket if I got in a pickle. Let's clear all this off and get to the next. All right, so this is an Eagle Creek hybrid hauler. It's a 55-liter bag, has stowaway pack straps, does not have a hip belt. It's got compression straps on both ends, on both sides. And as you'll see in a second, hauls a shit ton of gear. So, in the top section, I've got a coin sap loaded with coins, impact weapon, okay with TSA, headlamp, charging cables and a cell phone charger for the car, the rental. Battery pack that is 12,000 milliamp hours. Picked up at Costco for about 12 bucks. Another little pouch with my iPods and some batteries for a laser rangefinder I picked up. Pencil eraser. 3 more Millennium bars, a spare refill for that pen that fell, and a little reading light that clips onto a book. In the main pocket, this is where it gets interesting. So, got my laptop. Obviously, Ziploc bags must have when you got small kids. And this is a level 3 body armor plate from Canadian Body Armor. Was 176 bucks Canadian, weighs about 5 pounds, and will stop level 3. So you can do the math on the NIJ standard 3. But with research, but that's what it'll stop. Spare clothes for the kiddies, a couple of receiving blankets, Glover pocket reference. This book, if you've never seen it, pick one up. They're about $7 on Amazon. It's got all kinds of stuff from military ranks to electricity formulas to hand signals for crane and hoists to piping diameters, phone area codes for around the world, dialing codes, all that sort of stuff. Phenomenal little book. Amazing. Wilderness and Travel Medicine. This is my little toolkit. It got a little bit of interest from the Canadian guys on the way through, but they let it through ultimately. And so I'm going to just take a quick look through it with you. So Silcock key on the front. And this is just a little Maxpedition Micro, I think they call it. In here, that is Gorilla tape. That is electrical tape. I've got some sockets. I've got a little baby pry bar. This is a vice grip. This is a Sharpie that's got small and broad point. There's crazy glue. There's some more Gorilla tape, a little bit wider. It's about, I think that was about 10 or 12 feet of it. Can be handy. This is a little baby tape measure that I pirated off of a keychain. Works really well. And then, of course, zip ties, because don't go anywhere without zip ties. On the other side, I've got a little screwdriver with flippable nibs. And then, of course, I've got extras on this little sleeve for the funky ones. I got some Robertsons. I got some Allen wrenches. I think that's even a Torx. There might be a Torx in there. Actually, no Torx. I've got that just to extend it if I need to. More zip ties. This is a monkey wrench or crescent wrench, depending on where you're from. Kershaw tool. This little sucker has a ton of tiny little heads for computers and other such devices if you ever need to do any sort of work on them, or you know, this toolkit is obviously for scavenging if I need to, and can be used for all kinds of stuff as well. So that is a glue stick. That's some basically paracord that I got at Mountain Equipment Co-op, which is kind of our Canadian version of REI. And in this, with this little device, this is a socket head. So that fits into there, and then that goes into there, and then I can actually use the sockets. So I've got a super handy little magnet. You just assemble it and it'll hold about 40 pounds. In the back of this side, I've got a large sewing needle. I've got a little baby sewing kit. And that's all I keep on that side. So a super handy little toolkit. All okay with TSA and the Canadian guys. As I said, it got some looks from the Canadian guys, but they still let it through. So if I find myself in a faraway land and I need to subsist or make my way, I've got a little toolkit that can do a lot of stuff for me. Alright, some miscellaneous instruction manuals for stuff I bought. Diapers, of course, and wipes, because you gotta have them when you got kids. This is a Grail water filter. If you've never seen one of these, check them out. It's got a filter built in. You fill this up to the line with dirty water. You insert this, if that's screwed on to the top, and you just basically push it down. And that is a water purifier. So that will take care of viruses for you, as well as all the bacteria, cryptosporidium, all that sort of stuff. So very, very cool device. Picked that up at REI for about 48 bucks US because they were on sale, clearing them out. God only knows why. But purifier, must have on a trip anywhere. Pair of tinder that I have daisy chained into a lanyard, so I can attach a small bag to this, wear it over my shoulder, and then of course there's 1,000 uses for paracord. And this is pair of tinder, which has a red thread inside, and that red thread is impregnated with fire lighter, so it helps to light a fire. This is my solar and electronic kit. It's in a little Faraday bag from Mission Darkness that I picked up on Amazon. And in this bag, I have a number of things. So first off, a little multi-charging cable. Garmin InReach Mini. Must have, has an SOS button. You don't even have to have a subscription for the SOS button to work. If you have a subscription, you can do a whole bunch of other stuff with it. Definitely check it out. Definitely worth having if you're ever off the grid in places where you don't have cell coverage. Pairs with your cell phone. You can send texts. You can send the preconceived or the pre-done messages that are built into the machine. And there's the charging cable for it. So worth checking out. And there is my Garmin, my handheld. That's the Legend HCX color device, and in it is a SIM card that's got maps for Alberta and British Columbia for trails, off-road roads, all that kind of stuff. This is a Kato. It is a NOAA FM, AM, and shortwave radio. It's got a crank. It can take batteries. These are rechargeables. And underneath these is a rechargeable battery that the crank powers. Extendable antenna. It's got a flashlight. You've got a USB port on the front. And you can charge it up with a micro USB, which is one of the ones on that little multi-cable. So if I've got something where I want to charge this thing up so I can use it, I can do it that way as well. You can run off battery, you can run off power. It's also got a solar panel on the top. So very handy little device, about 30 bucks on Amazon, and this is the old version. There's newer versions of this one now. This is my Baofeng. This is the UV, oh, what the heck is it? UV82L, I believe it is. 1 watt, 5 watts, and 8 watts. This antenna is not awesome, but it does work. So if you need a handheld radio that you can program frequencies into, find yourself somewhere that you don't want to be. And there are my programming instructions right there, so I can program frequencies. Comes with a charger. This is the rechargeable battery. And this is a battery pack that you can load with rechargeable batteries. So if I don't have the charger for this one, and I do have a charger for these ones, I can use this, which is why this is what, sorry about that, which is why this is what I selected for the trip. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So let's keep going. I'll figure that out later and get it back together. And then the main thing that's in this bag is my Goal Zero Nomad 7 Plus. This is a great solar charger. Lots of people in the prepping community swear by it. It comes with a battery pack that you can load rechargeable batteries into. I put all the rechargeable batteries into all my devices. Because sometimes going through security, they don't want you carrying a bunch of extra rechargeable batteries. So I just made sure that all the batteries I had were doing some job. and then they can't really complain about it. And if they decided to, this is an insert for AAAs, which is what the radio takes, and a few other things, that fits into this one for AAs. And so if they took the batteries, you know, no big deal. I can still got some that I can use. It's got a cable that is a USB-C, which is what my cell phone takes, and also a micro USB if I need that. So, and that cable was about $6 on Amazon. So tons of really good stuff in this little bag. Goal Zero is awesome in that you can daisy chain things together to make ultra skookum charging stations. Basically, you can put panels together to make a bigger, more wattage panel if you want to. So, one of my favorite things in this bag. This is a little what my buddy and I have come to call an all perils kit, and this has got a whole bunch of things in it. So there's a garbage bag there. There's some more zip ties. There's a rather large wet wipe. And this, I think, if I remember correctly, was about 20 feet of Gorilla Tape. Little Fresnel lens. A Fresnel lens, depending on your pronunciation. I believe it's Fresnel though, so that's what I'm saying. Chapstick, clear eyes. Little Bic lighter, glue stick, so I can melt the glue stick with the lighter and use it for hot gluing. And then this is a little space pen with the pressurized Fisher refill in it. On this side is a microfiber towel. This is solution for cleaning my glasses, my sunglasses. This is a little med kit that's got Tylenol 3, Tylenol 500 milligram, Benadryl, Advil, Gravol, Imodium, a little drug pack that you really can really save your ass if you end up coming down with something. That right there is a Reactin. So if you've got bad allergies or you go somewhere where your allergies flare up, so just a real handy little med kit to have. In back of that, I've got some Tums. So if I need those, I've got them. There's a nice little sewing kit, and that just lives in here. Again, I've got a little Sharpie that's got the skinny end and the standard end, and a Tide to Go. And then in the back here, that is a pocket mask. I've got 2 sets of gloves, and I've got a triangular bandage buried underneath that as well. So if I need any of those things, obviously it's not a full kit. I've got a full kit inside here, which I'm going to get to in a second. And this is number 36 bank line, and I think that was about 30 or 40 feet of it. So I can do lots with that. In this little tin is a little bit more of the boo-boo kit. So there's some Band-Aids. These are some Quick Clot. I got some more water purification, more duct tape. This is hydrocortisone cream in a straw. So you just basically you melt one end you hold it with a Leatherman, you melt it with a lighter, fill it with the cream you want, and then do the same on the other end. This is one with polysporin or neosporin if you're in the States. Little disposable toothbrush just to have something. And it's got toothpaste in it, some safety pins, another stick of super glue. I've got some stormproof matches and some light anywhere matches. Got a few safety pins, and then underneath I've got a nice big piece of tin foil. So that comprises the All Perils kit, and it's just a real handy little pocket kit. I don't go anywhere without this during my normal work week. It goes in all my bags. It slips into my pocket if I'm wearing a jacket. If I'm going out to a show, that goes with me. Great little kit. This caught a little bit of attention on the way back, only because they couldn't identify it. As soon as Buddy opened it up, he was like, oh, I know what that is, no problem, off you go. And that was it. Didn't have any issue with any of the other stuff in the bag, just the day trek. So these bars, there are, how many bars? 18 bars. Each one is about 200 calories. So each pack is 3,600 calories. And doesn't create thirst. It's great survival food. It's what they put in lifeboats. They're a little bit heavy, but you know what? Bang for buck, pound for pound, you can't do better than that for emergency food if you need it. So I keep 4 of those when I'm traveling. Because I've got, there's 4 of us in the family, so I mean that could theoretically run us for 3 or 4 days or more, depending on how hungry we are. So this is merino wool. There's pants, 2 shirts, 1 set for me, 1 set for my fiance. And I just threw this in there so that my family had some extra stuff if we got stuck somewhere. This is a little fold-away 20-liter stuff sack, or backpack from Eddie Bauer. Gore-Tex thin shell that I picked up from REI. And with it are the pants. So breathable, waterproof, and windproof. And this is legitimate Gore-Tex. It's just not the really thick stuff, so you just can't be going bashing through the bushes with it, or you're probably going to wreck it. So be smart with it. This is something I picked up on the trip. The only reason it was in here is because I didn't want to put it in a check bag, but this is the Night Fox night vision goggles. Takes 4 AA's, good out to about 150 meters or yards, and has a built-in IR light. This unit has, I believe, 6 times magnification, and it cost me $200, I think. It's a smoking deal. If you want some low-budget night vision, great option to have. This is the first aid kit that I mentioned. So in this is all kinds of stuff. I used to be an EMT in a former life, so there's some stuff in here that I want. So Sam Splint. I've got my little protocol book from back in the day, EMS Field Guide. Great little tons of information in there. It's got tabs, it's got drugs, spinal injury, major bones of the skeleton, infectious diseases, risks, how it's spread, all that kind of stuff. Some basic instructions on how to use a combi tube if you're trained to do that. Don't do anything you're not trained to do, because if you hurt somebody, you'll end up in jail. Stroke, CVA, trauma, chest puncture, cardiac rhythms, all kinds of stuff. So great little book to have. Saved my ass when I was an EMT. I used it on almost, I shouldn't say that. Once you kind of know the stuff, you don't really use it that much. But it's a great reference to always have handy. I got scissors. This is all small wound care. In here is moleskin and a blister medic kit. So between the 2 of these, there's lots of good foot care for if you got a long walk, something like that. I've got quick clot. There's gauze. I've got tape. This is polysporin. In here is a little pack that's got skin closures, band-aids, all kinds of other little small stuff. Duct tape, because don't leave home without it. Gold Bond, more of that pseudo cream, because it's just really handy stuff. You can use it on a ton of things, not just baby bums. There's gloves. You can use this if you're hiking and you get chafed. You can put some of this on there. It's going to not only help with the chafing, but it's actually going to help heal the wound. So great stuff to have. This is an EpiPen. some cling gauze, elastic bandage. In the back here, this is all my bandaging stuff. So there's going to be triangular bandages, compression bandages, all that kind of stuff. I always set my kits up in a way where everything is in the same place. So this is all small wound care on this side. On this side is bleeding and bandaging, basically, more or less, with the exception of this gauze. And that's, and then there's some big pads in the back there, abdominal pads. So that's my little med kit. Tape, because you always need tape. And they didn't even look at that. They didn't even want me to open it. They didn't want to see inside of it. They didn't care. So you cannot go wrong having a good solid med kit if you go anywhere, especially with your family, especially if your plan is to prep for things that may or may not happen to you while you're there. So, all right, I'm gonna save that for last. Darn tough socks, convertible pants that have some water resistance. They're not fully waterproof or anything like that, but that's where the Gore-Tex comes in. So between my long underwear, this, or the merino, this, and the Gore-Tex, I'm fully waterproof. And then when I was traveling, I was wearing a pair of my Gore-Tex hikers that I also picked up at REI when I was there. $250 shoes for $100. So can't do wrong with that. They're Gore-Tex, they're dry, they're comfortable, they're light. They got wicked grip for snow or dirt or hiking or whatever you want. Great shoes. So a purchase I was very happy with. Now in here, obviously, my Ranger blanket and a reflective tarp. Help keep people warm, keep the family warm, build in a little shelter if I need to, with the tarp. And then while I was down there, I had purchased a couple of these, and so these also came back with me. This is a multicam poncho, fully dry, tape seams on the inside anyway. So between all of that, that is my main bag, and a granola bar, because you can't go wrong with that. So the bottom of this pack has a little zip-off pouch. There's the shoulder strap.